I teamed up with a trained assassin from Discord. He goes by the name of Johnny Karma. Now you see this old guy right here? Yeah, this guy, Daddy Powell. He ended up making me and Johnny Karma as well decent amount of money in under 45 minutes. What is going on, guys? Lottery Stocks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. First of all, happy Saturday. Hopefully you guys are all enjoying your weekend. Today we're going to take a step away from AMC real quick and explain how we made over $2,740 in under 32 minutes. And the purpose of this video is not only for entertainment, but for educational purposes. So you guys can take a few things into consideration when you're taking trades, and maybe this will help you guys on your next couple of trades. So without further ado, please, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, or if you find value out of the video, also hit the like button. It helps get this video out to more people like you guys. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for 16,000 subscribers. It really means the world to me. Have post notifications on. Let's get into the video. Also, towards the end of this video, I'm going to give you guys a touch on 3 different stocks, one of the big name stocks that may move with the S&P 500 pretty soon. But first, let's talk about the trade. As many of you know, Fed Powell spoke on Friday, which usually brings volatility to the market. Now, there were many different factors and many different aspects going into this trade that we took, and one of them was Fed Powell. This was one of the major things causing us to enter and exit this trade successfully. Now, let me give you some background on this. Why did I team up with Johnny Karma? Why did we want to enter a trade together? Well, a couple days ago, on Thursday actually, the day before Powell spoke, I stated in my video that the S&P 500, however, let me bring the drawings away for you. Look at this very, very scary head and shoulders that the S&P 500 was not only looking bearish and heading for a slight correction, coming down to that 423 gap fill, or at least 426 on the spot. However, the driving factor of us teaming up was the S&P 500 forming this beautiful, beautiful head and shoulders. It's literally picture perfect. I'll pull up a picture from Google of a head and shoulders, which signals a reversal in the charts. You see a shoulder here, perfect head, shoulder here. Overall sentiment is downwards pressure. Of course, there are other factors like Powell speaking, going to bring volatility into the market and shift the market. But when you're playing options, it is very good to identify a trend, especially if you're playing 4 or 5 day puts, 10-day puts, month out, so on and so forth, or even if you don't have that leverage, end of day puts. Okay, so this was the first step to this trade. We talked about it on Thursday. Let's team up. Let's trade the Fed meeting. There may be a little bit of volatility, but there was one problem, or at least maybe it wasn't a problem. It was a Friday. And as many of you guys know, Fridays don't tend to do very well for markets, which was in our favor because that just added on to the negative sentiment that was going to push the market. Now, here's how we did it. Here was the execution of the S&P 500 trade. We hopped on a call about 10 minutes after market open, and this is what the S&P 500 did. It ripped and then started to barcode, and we figured, okay, let's figure out the sentiment. We talked about it. We said head and shoulders on the SPY. Even if we play 5-day puts out and we get lost on this trade, we still have a few days left in these puts for that head and shoulders to play out. So that was number 1. Number 2, Powell speaks at 10:05 a.m. Powell started speaking right around here, and this is exactly when we started taking the trade. Now take a look at this and what we did and why. Now it was a little bit risky, but I'm going to explain why it was the right move. We ended up entering puts right around here. This was our first entry into puts on the S&P 500. Ticker symbol SPY, and I have the screenshots right here. We entered 437 puts expiring August 30th with 25 contracts at a total cost of $5,650. Now, if you take a look at this volume candle right here, you will see that there was a lot of green volume, and then during this sell-off, there was a decent amount of red volume matched with the buyers as well. Now, you can see, compared to this sell-off to these buy candles, it came up to the same level, but even higher, and the buy volume started to fade. Right on this big green candle, which was very, very risky, we ended up doubling down on our position. This was the second screenshot, 437 puts expiring August 30th. For a total of 20 extra contracts at a total cost of $4,380. So we are about 10K deep at this point. We doubled down. Now guys, I just wanted to add on that this was crucial for our trade. And the reason it was crucial is because the way the chart was set up, it looked like it was going to scalp even higher. Therefore, the puts were discounted at least 20%. So we got the puts even cheaper than they were supposed to be because we entered at such a risky time. Volume didn't look good. We knew the sentiment, but it was all about what was Powell saying and how it was affecting the market, and we're going to get into that in 1 second. So we re-entered, we doubled down, and by the time the SPY ripped all the way up to 441, we were down over 5K on this trade. Why didn't we cut? Now let me bring the drawings in just for a little bit of perspective. This was just the daily drawings, the daily trend lines that I was drawing on the S&P 500, stating that, listen, if it comes up to 441, it's going to get risky, it's going to get dangerous, and this is where we have to start thinking, right? Well, we did. We were down 5K, but I knew strong enough that the volume was not strong enough. Take a look at the volume down here. Buy volume was fading at the top of this candle, a very, very low green bar of buy volume, and then the red volume started to come in, and I knew that was a heavy, heavy resistance level for the S&P 500. I was looking for a bounce down at this trend line once it started to scale down and sell off, and I was also listening to what Fed Powell stated. Now, what he stated was rates are not high enough to control inflation. This was one thing that he stated, which is not necessarily the most positive thing. And he said he is prepared to raise rates further if needed, despite progress. Now, this was a little bit of a whipsaw for the market because Powell said something negative, but he also said something positive, which is what he usually does, which is why you see the SPY whipsaw, and actually it closed green up 0.7%, right? So we made progress, which was good. However, what wasn't priced in is they may raise rates further if needed, and they have that same 2% inflation goal. By here, we started to go green on the trade, and then we started to go very, very green on the trade, and we didn't cut here just yet. The reason we didn't cut is because every single red candle was volume heavy. Every single green candle was very, very low volume. You can see each and every candle signaling that the SPY is going to continue to sell. Now, we ended up cutting the position right around here, even though the volume after that started to play out and the SPY started to sell off even more. We may have left 5 to 10K profit on the table, but if you take a look at this was a decent time to get out of the trade. And the reason it was a decent time to get out of the trade is because you can see all of these top wicks on these candles, okay? The SPY kept testing, getting rejected at this level, which of course, okay, well, lottery stocks, that was a rejection level. But if you take a look at the volume for buyers and sellers, when we ended up cutting the trade, looked like it evened out, which signals a bounce, okay? Which we did get a slight bounce, came all the way back up, retested that high at 437.86 before selling off even further. By then, we were out of the trades. I'll show you the screenshots right here. We ended up closing half the 25 for a total of $7,050 right here. And then we cut the other half, sold 20 right here for a total of $5,720, totaling us a total of $2,740, which is $1,370 per person on this trade. Now, this was a beautiful trade. It was perfectly executed, and we hope to do more in the future, but I just wanted to bring it to your guys' attention as to why it may be better to, maybe team up with somebody to make the trades, because someone looking at the charts and someone executing may be a lot simpler, but also know the sentiment going into the day. You see, if this head and shoulders wasn't a thing here on the SPY, and especially if Powell wasn't speaking, we would not have gotten on a phone call today. We would not have gotten on a trade. Some days it's just not worth it. Now, if you look at the SPY, there's an overall negative sentiment. There's a negative sentiment for 4 or 5 days, 10 days, a month out, and you have Powell speaking, which is going to bring volatility in. It's the perfect time to take a trade. If the SPY barcoded like this for another couple hours, we probably also wouldn't have entered a trade. There are many factors that made us enter and exit this trade perfectly and perfectly timed. Also, don't get greedy. Don't hold profits too long. Yeah, we left money on the table, but like I said, I explained why we exited the position. So this is a trade that made us over $2,700 in about 30 minutes or so on a simple phone call. Shout out to Johnny Karma in Discord. If you guys want more plays in Discord like this, we did talk about the SPY puts, probably not to the degree as getting on the phone call. We just had a lot of stuff to get set up. That link is right under the video. You guys should really pop in there before the week starts, because we talk stocks all day long, and it's really worth $1.99. Everyone else's Discord is usually $10, $20, $30, $50, which is absolutely overpriced. No matter who you're talking to, no matter the stock pick channel that you're going towards, come join the one that's $1.99 where everyone talk stocks all day long. Whether you're a beginner or advanced trader, this is the place for you. Plus, I'm in there on the daily, and I post my trades as soon as I take them. Now, I want to cover a couple stocks that may affect the S&P 500 going forward, because the S&P 500 is still building that head and shoulders pattern, kind of finishing it right now, getting this relief bounce. But if we bring the drawings in here on the daily, the SPY got rejected on this trend line, came down, retested it, came back up, retested it again, and it is fighting resistance at this level. If anything, the SPY is probably going to come back up to 441 before finishing this head and shoulders, retest this trend line at 435.45 before breaking lower and coming down to that 426 level. That is my outlook on the SPY. But Amazon looks like it just got a double top, and based off of the technicals and the trend lines that I have drawn out, I'm looking for a 9% sell-off on Amazon, which will overall affect the market, as well as Tesla and NVDA. These are some of the largest holdings in the S&P 500, and the cycle that I have drawn out for Tesla shows picture perfectly what Tesla just played out, and it also shows that over the next couple of weeks, by September 8th to September 12th, Tesla will hit a relative low, and I think it's coming down to that $200 level even, which is a 16% sell-off for Tesla. So 9% sell-off for Amazon, 16% sell-off for Tesla, as well as a 20 to 21% minimum sell-off for NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA has been killing it, it has been rallying, but I think it is time for a cool-off for NVIDIA. This is something that I see playing out, coming back down, testing this trend line at 367.90, getting a little bit of a bounce, coming back up to about 430 for NVIDIA, 441, getting rejected at this trend line 2 times, and then potentially either basing and ripping or breaking below that support and scaling down even lower to $270 being the bottom before a turnaround on NVIDIA. I want you to pay attention to these plays because they are always due for a sell-off. That doesn't mean it's a bad idea to dollar cost average and play them for the long term. I just wanted to bring this to your attention. These are my outlooks on these 3 plays. You guys let me know on the trades that we took, your thoughts. And if you want to take trades like this, pop in the Discord with me so you can talk with me on the daily. And if you want the Discord for free for a year, probably 2 years, 3 years, download Moomoo using my link and make a deposit of even $1. A lot of you guys are signing up, but you're not depositing that dollar. You need to make a deposit. And just to disclose, I keep saying $1, but it literally can be a penny. It can be 50 cents into your account to start earning free stocks from there. The more you deposit, the more stocks you get, all the way up to a free Tesla or Google stock. Use my link, sign up for Moomoo, make a deposit. That is it, guys. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will be updating you tomorrow on probably AMC because I did read a bunch of stuff, and if I have time, maybe I'll post it tonight. But that is what I got for you for today's video. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.